This is a FMQ, the 5-minute quickie podcast from me, Paul Clough, from this niche of one, hopefully a niche of one, of unplugged personal development. It's to get you thinking, to give you information, to give you some real good snippets of processes that you can use right now in this genre of personal development, breaking things down into simple how-tos that get results. Minimum amount of effort to get the maximum amount of return and make life brilliantly good. Because in this world of personal development, self-improvement, I believe things have been made far too complicated. Or people are talking about things that they just do and they don't explain how they did them. And I'm creating processes to enable you to get those type of results easily and effortlessly. And more importantly, simply, because as Einstein once said, in simplicity there's genius, so therefore we're going to create things simple. Simples. I want you to encourage you to have your dreams, to notice that sometimes when you haven't got them, it wasn't your fault. Yes, we have to take responsibility for the decisions we made, but we made those decisions with the information, the wisdom we had right then. And now you've got a chance to really create the world you want to live in and create the you want to be fully integrated, being authentic, singing from the right voice, not the right voice, your voice, and become part of this unplugged personal development team, this family, this thing that we're creating, and sharing everything we do with everybody. So please enjoy, have more fun than you can stand, and please just listen and enjoy.
Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
So I was listening to another podcast. Yeah, that's right. That's what I do. They give me inspiration to talk to you and share things. And one of the things I heard was two or three people having a chat, experienced people. And they were saying that, they were advising somebody to go to a therapist. I thought that's good advice. For the problem they were having, go to a therapist. But one of them was saying, but make sure, because they were a therapist, make sure they've experienced that problem before. Pretty good thought to have. Have you experienced working with this type of people? No, they didn't mean that though. What they meant was they were advocating working with someone who'd gone through the type of problems they were talking about. And I thought to myself, what a load of old BS. It really was, because here's the thing. Do I need to be a manic depressive to help someone who's got manic depression? Don't think so. Do I need to have a chronic fear of heights and have panic attacks to help someone who has panic attacks and chronic fear of height? Don't think so. What I do need for anything, for any work with a client, what I need to have is a serious set of good skills and to be able to use those skills. That's what you should be asking. How good are you? What are your testimonials like? What are your results like? That's what you should be asking about a therapist. Not whether, have you had manic depression before? Have I been pregnant? No, I haven't, because I'm a man. But I can help somebody go through pregnancy. I can help all sorts of things. You don't have to have the problem or have had the problem. What would get me was, say I had manic depression and I'm now this therapist, because a lot of people go to therapy because they went to therapy about something and then they'd like to become a therapist, which is cool as long as you get your skills. But the thing is, maybe then you become too empathetic because the things that your client is telling you begins to set off those old triggers that you used to have that maybe you thought were gone completely. But those triggers are now reinforced again. Now that to me would be wouldn't be the right thing to do. So you have to have compassion, not empathy. Talked about that before. But the thing is, you just have to have a bucket load of good skills. skills to understand that a problem is a problem. Any problem, if it's being suffered by somebody, is a problem. Doesn't matter how weird and wonderful it is, how wacky. For that person, it's not weird, wonderful, or wacky. It's a problem. It's an issue. And you need to be able to understand where they are, get into their model of the world, understand where they want to go, because sometimes they need help for that. Because if they've been in that issue for such a long time, they don't realize where they want to go. They think this is the only place to be. So you help them come out of that model of the world and create in their imagination a model of the world where they want to go. So what's in the now? Where do they want to go? The future. And then find ways to go from A to B. Taking out that root cause, to learn from the root cause that created it, to have a philosophy of assisting that change, and do it quickly, do it comfortably, do it easily. And that's why these so-called experts were really just talking out their bums, really, because I don't think they really knew what they were talking. It's like the lips were just running from the hip, the lip. And I think sometimes there's people I listen to, and there's particularly a couple of these people were really experienced, and the advice I've heard from them before has been top notch. But sometimes we need to just think a little bit. Think what we say when we're giving advice, because sometimes we are not really there with our own experience to do that. That's my little thought of what you need from a therapist. I've done another podcast about that a long time ago, about what to expect from a hypnotherapist. You can have a look at that. Don't know what number it is. If you go to Castbox or something like that, you'd be able to search it really quickly. But it's all around there. Anyway, if that was ever your concern, don't let it be. All you want is to work with somebody. It doesn't have to be a hypnotherapist or an NLP practitioner or a timeline practitioner. I think they're the best because that's the way I've been brought up, and that's the way I train people to do. But there's other great practitioners and therapists around. But just make sure they're blooming good and they're confident they can help you. No BS, just that inner confidence of being able to assist you to make the changes that you want. They're not going to work on you, by the way. You don't do hypnosis on people. You don't do NLP on someone. You don't do timeline therapy on somebody. And you'll hear people say that. You do it with somebody. It's a do-with process. And you go through it together to the end. And the other thing you must do is test the hell out of your work to make sure you've got what you want. There you go. That's for me. Have more fun than you can stand. And if you do need one-to-one, you can get it everywhere, by the way. Therapists are everywhere. They're online now. I'm online. I work on Zoom and Skype. So you can find great people everywhere. So if you need it, have a look around. If you want some advice, email me. feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Everything goes through that email now. All comes personally to me. The email's never shared. It's totally confidential. So if you want some advice, or you'd like to have a bit more input in the direction of this podcast because you'd like to know a few more processes or how to work with a particular issue, and it could be any issue. I'll find they're just behaviors, by the way. The issues we have are just behaviors. And when we do that, we're going to change our behaviors for the better and create a wonderful world. So yeah, email me. Give me your feedback, because it's feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. And do share. If you got anything out of this and any of the other podcasts, please, as always, share with your best friend. Share with your unbest friend. Share with, well, not even your friends. Just share. That would be absolutely awesome. And now we're going to really create a community of selfless service. Yeah, that would make so much difference to this world that we live in. And it'd then become an even better world to live in. It's a great place now, but it'll get even better. There you go. Remember, Hypnosis Tracks, they're on paulcloughonline.com/podcast. They're all there. They're all in one place. Hey, I'll even tell you what they're like now. So many of you are now signing on to the Hypnosis Tracks at paulcloughonline.com/podcast. Now, why would you want to do that if you haven't done it already? And I want to tell you, because you keep them all in one place. there's no searching. There's no searching through 250 odd podcasts to find that one hypnosis track you want. And because they're all in one place, you can look through them and suddenly see things that you've forgotten about. And you may want to then listen to that type of hypnosis track. It's just, you've got an issue, you can go down that page and you find them. And the good thing about this is you will also receive updates via email of all the latest hypnosis tracks. So if you miss that podcast, you won't miss a hypnosis track. They're all there for you. You'll also get a few little free gifts in hypnosis and discounts onto the bigger programs that I have. It's a simple one-page part of my website with a list of all of those hypnosis tracks. And guess what? They're all downloadable and they're all free. So you get them. All you have to do is sign in. Sign in to paulcloughonline.com/podcast. It's as simple as that. That was the how, by the way. I know some people, I'm not, some people are a bit worried about people sharing emails. The reason I'm not is because I don't do it. Don't do it ever. Anyway, if you want all those hypnosis tracks, you want to get updates on your email, and you also want maybe a few free gifts and discounts on the programs, go to paulcloughonline.com/podcast. You'll love it.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.